Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Sunday night and we are live. And I have truly the one and only. I'm so honored to have her back. It's been quite a few years because last time we were on the phone and it loses everything. Now we get to see her, the one and only Lady Sham.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Yes,
Thank you.
for those of you that don't know, I've been on this program before, but it was like 5 years ago, I think, right?
You know what? I was trying to find and I couldn't find the old episode and I was kicking myself in the ass, but I'm
I
pretty sure
found
it's about
it.
5 years ago.
No, I found it. You just go on the Google and you look on your name and the Bay Ragni Show, and then you put Sham, and I found it.
Oh, look at that. See? You're more advanced than I am.
Thanks to Google, not me. I wouldn't have archived it well at all. Believe me, I'm like the most disorganized person.
Well, all right. Speaking of Google, great segue, and I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to bring this up early. Do you realize there's another Sham, and your last name is Ibrahim?
Yeah, there's an Indian actor. Is that right?
No.
No.
There's a dentist in the UK.
Stealing my identity. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
FBI.
I couldn't believe it.
Dentist. No, whatever. I mean, it's actually, this is the truth. My name is not like a made up name. Like Sham, when people hear the word Sham, or the name Sham, I should say, they think that it's a totally made up fictitious stage name like Hannah Montana or something like that. It's not. It's actually short for my real name that my parents gave me, which is Sham, but I took out the he because I am nothing but a he, as you can see. So I took the he and just stuck with Sham since I was literally 7 years old. But and then my last name is Ibrahim, which is a common Arabic name. I'm Arabic. My father's Egyptian, so I'm from an Egyptian background, and that's actually a very common Egyptian name. So
wow.
It's not so unusual.
It's at that point when I started seeing like this dentist in the UK and all, I was like, wow, that's her real name. like I was like, it's not a stage name.
No, it's not. It's really not. I mean, and to be honest, Lady Sham is the name that I go by. My drag name at this bar that I work at. But really, I've always used as an artist. For those of you who don't know, too, I'm mostly known as an artist. So I've always used my real name, Sham Ibrahim, which is like Abraham's but with I. And my first name, Sham, is like shampoo without the
poo. Which, all right, so the artist in you, which is your true calling into the world of entertainment, I'll say, besides being a drag queen. And I was going through, and I remember we really dove into it last time we talked, and I was going through again all the art and all, and like when you're doing these pictures, because it's mostly celebrities that you're doing, right? Is that all you do? Is
I really in the sort of came up or had my, I guess, made a name for myself by doing portraits of celebrities. But to be honest, it's kind of gotten kind of tired, I feel, and like I don't, it's obviously an honor, privilege, and pleasure to give a artwork of a celebrity to them and all that stuff. But I've really kind of found that like a lot of stuff, when it's like kind of timely like that, like it's like pop culture kind of stuff, it loses its appeal after a few years. So like I'm just like better drawing a picture of an owl or like a tree because I could sell that forever. Whereas like some Kardashian that's like the flavor of the month, like this week may not. You know what I mean? I don't want to put all this effort into like doing all this like celebrity art and then nobody knows who they are like 5 years later. So I kind of strayed from that in my art. I've been doing more just nature kind of stuff and things like that. And recently, if I do have the opportunity to do an artwork of a celebrity, I of course try to do it if I can.
Did you like? I always want, because you always like, not always, but it seems like a lot of the times, like you're saying, like you'll do these paintings and then you end up meeting that celebrity that you do. Is that something where you end up timing it, that you're probably going to meet them, or is it more or less something inspired you and you already had it? Or
it's been a combination. I mean, sometimes it was just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Of course, if I had the art with me, I knew that the said celebrity was going to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was also, to be honest, like a lot of it later when I started getting a name for myself, a lot of it was, set up kind of stuff and that's what people on television and in the, when you read Us Weekly and you see like Julia Roberts just went to the store in her pajamas, don't think that was not set up. Try to spoil the surprise, you know what I mean? But I mean, really, it kind of turned into that, and but that's, I guess, that's the nature of having a product like that, like an artwork that or whatever it is that somebody does, you want to put it out there. There's no better way than people who have a bigger following than me, right? So if I give it to somebody like Snoop Dogg and then all his fans see it, then it's like some of them become my fans, which is incredible. It's an amazing opportunity. But it's I make no what do you call it, like there's no like illusion or whatever to what I do. I'm very straightforward in that I'm kind of a gimmick. Kind of a gimmick, and there's no like deep meaning to my art, or it's just, it is what it is.
Now, I'm glad you brought Snoop Dogg up because I saw the video on your YouTube channel where you met Snoop.
For those who don't know, I had the honor of giving Snoop Dogg an artwork, which, by the way, he was honestly, out of all the celebrities, which there have been so many, he's my favorite. He really is.
He just seemed very genuine and so appreciative. And then I think it might have been truly the art more than the joint you gave him.
Well, so for those of you guys that haven't seen it, I also brought a joint with me, and I thought, my dumbass thought I would roll the biggest joint I could for Snoop Dogg. Bring this joint that's like the size of like my pinky finger, and Snoop was already smoking a joint the size of my forearm when I walked. He really didn't need my joint, but he was really nice about it, and we smoked it anyway. And just to be real, like, I was genuinely, like, how you're saying like Snoop was genuinely, I was genuinely like starstruck because I have loved and been a fan of Snoop Dogg since probably junior high, which was just a few years ago. No, I'm just kidding. It was since my childhood, basically. I've loved him so much. Like, he's my favorite of all the hip hop artists. And really, the most incredible moment for me was because when I was growing up and I was such a fan of hip hop, my favorites were like Snoop. I loved NWA. I used to wait till my parents would leave the house to play the tape because it wasn't allowed in the house, but all the cuss words or whatever. But Snoop, Ice Cube, people like that. And there was Dr. Dre, and a lot of these lyrics, there was sometimes like very homophobic tones, and just explicit like homophobia in their music. So having met Snoop all these years later, and just being like my full self in front of him, with all my makeup, being me in front of him, and having him love me and accept me, showed me that there was an evolution sort of in hip hop culture, which meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? Growing up, feeling like, oh my God, they're talking about me when they're saying these lyrics. You know what I mean? So now, just to be embraced by the king of hip hop, Snoop Dogg, and to be, in fact, it was during Gay Pride Month when I met him. And if you guys go on my YouTube and you see the video, you'll see he says like he wants to give like a special shout out to Gay Pride, which was just amazing.
You did seem genuinely shocked, like he like knew what was going on. Yeah,
I really was, because I grew up with the hip hop culture. Sorry, this thing is bugging the fuck out of me. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't have time to like get ready, guys. I just finished. Why is everything back here on this? I need like a mirror.
It's backwards, right?
It's backwards. I just finished performing, guys. For those of you who don't know, I just finished performing, and now I'm backstage where I work. I'm not even at home. But so yeah, so it was just an incredible experience all around to meet Snoop, and a childhood idol. It really was, and to have him be so accepting and embrace me.
Now, another video I saw on your YouTube channel was you when you presented Boy George with a painting. Okay. How was that one? Because it seemed like it was like yeah.
So Boy George was a boy bitch, and what Boy George did was he first thing when I was even okay, it happened after an after party backstage for the Culture Club that I got invited to, and the minute I walked in the room, like Adam Lambert was there. There's some really fancy people there, right? And the
Okay.
minute I walked in the room, Boy George just gave me this look like, bitch, how dare you walk in with makeup better than mine kind of thing. Okay. And my makeup's not even that good, but let me tell you, hers that night was like, whoa, what's going on there with that done with a crayon? So I ended up, having this artwork for Boy George because again, Boy George is also my childhood idol. I mean, I have to admit, like I've loved him since.
Opened so many doors, right?
What's that?
She opened so many doors for.
I think Boy George was just, I don't know about, okay, you know what? I don't know about that because Boy George came out of the closet like 10 years into his career. So that's awesome that he did it when he did. But, and I can understand in 1984, it might have been, a little harder, but imagine like how much even more braver it would have been just like that at that time, especially with the AIDS crisis that was happening in, the early 80s and stuff like that. I mean, Boy George waited to 1989 and then he came out, believe me, I know the whole story. So anyway, Boy George, nonetheless, I loved Boy George for just music because when I was a child, I listened to everything. So I brought this artwork to give to Boy George. And what Boy George did was Boy George informed me that he has so many portraits of himself and he gave it back to me. And then he told me that he could sign it and it would become more valuable and that I could sell it for more money. So I was actually at the time, believe it or not, I was struggling for money as I always am. But nonetheless, I was kind of offended. I was like, what does this bitch think that like, you know what I mean? She's going to make my artwork more valuable. So she signed it. And as soon as she signed it right in front of him, I sold it for $5. So I could pay the valet or something like that. It was like $5. And I said, who wants to buy this? And somebody gave me like $5. Okay, sold. And I did just to kind of like, yeah.
Shit.
And the video cuts, if you look, there is the video of me giving Boy George the artwork. I don't know how much of that part is in it, but you can see somebody's knocking. Come in. Hold on. Second. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
In the video, you can definitely see that it's I don't know how much you see of him actually giving it back or whatever, but if you watch the video, I think it's documented in there. I'm pretty sure.
That's wild. So I have a weird Boy George story. So when I first started doing these interviews, what I would do was to get celebrity guests was I would just tweet to them, hey, I'd like to have this guest, like to do a new interview with you. How can I get in touch with you? And, like out of every 100, maybe 5 people respond. I remember I was sitting there like on a Sunday afternoon and I was sending out random tweets to people and I sent one to Boy George. Boy George answered me like that. He said, I'd love to do it. Let's do it right now. And I was like, oh shit. Like I have no questions ready. I'm not prepared for none of this. I'm like, you got to give me 24 hours. And
you never heard from him again. Yep.
Like got to do it now or nothing.
No, exactly. Did you do it?
No. I was scared. I was petrified. I was like, what the fuck do I say?
So no wonder. But you know who's a lot cooler than him? His best friend, Marilyn. Marilyn, you guys, look up Marilyn, the British singer.
Okay.
Marilyn and Boy George came up in the same club scene in England. And Marilyn is my friend on Facebook. And those two are not friends anymore. So Marilyn's a pretty amazing person. And Marilyn just goes on YouTube these days and just starts talking to the camera. And just saying the most amazing things. She does I guess for no reason. She just go on her YouTube and see what I'm talking about. And she is a legendary, icon of the 80s too, just like Boy George.
Yeah.
And, for her to give you that kind of access, it's really fascinating. I've watched all her YouTube videos and she is on my Facebook and sometimes she responds to me. I'm like such a fangirl. I get so excited. She's not the only one who responds to that I'm a fangirl of. Courtney Love a couple times. I have
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Courtney is very interactive with her Facebook, guys. If you want to have an interaction with Courtney, and really too, don't piss her off on there.
No.
She will, like, she's ruthless on there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
To watch. I love Courtney.
I like, as I'm scrolling, I'll come across, and I'll see like she's either ripping into somebody on there, or the last thing I saw was a couple weeks ago where she was talking about all these boys of the '90s who she slept with. Better watch out, because she's working on her autobiography and she's not holding back. So I was like, oh shit, look out.
Hey, I can't wait to read it. If she's writing a book, I'm reading it. I'm sure it's going to be fascinating. I mean, all that, you can feel like in her music that there's like a story there before there was ever was a story. So, I think she's a really fascinating person.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I got a question here for you. What art did you create in the past that has become outdated?
Well, that's an easy one to answer. So one of my most famous pieces was when I did an artwork of Rihanna after she had been battered in the, like, and I'm so, it grosses me out so much to say it now. It's just so, I cringe even saying that I did that, but it was so topical at the time. And there was this police mugshot that TMZ had released. And I did an artwork of it as part of a group show, right? And I never thought anybody would notice this thing, because I was hanging in this gallery where these guys kind of put me in the back of the gallery. They didn't really give me a lot of prominence in the thing. And then they invited a writer from E! Entertainment to write about it. And the only piece he wrote about was that Rihanna piece. And it took me half an hour to do it. It was not, something that I put a lot of thought into. It was not something that really was, I worked hard on it all. It just, and then suddenly the next day, this thing was like front page news across, I can't even tell you, like every platform, NBC News, it went to Canada, it went to international, it went everywhere. Artist draws, portrait of Rihanna's battered face. And later it became in a textbook for Berkeley, UC Berkeley, published by Duke University Press, called Feminist Surveillance Studies. And they wrote this whole dissertation about the piece and all. So it's my most famous piece, but to me, it feels so outdated, and I would never these days do something for shock value like that. It's just tacky. Like, I'm older now, so I'm like, I cringe that I even did it. I was in my 20s, this was like 2009. So I was like in my 20s, and I just like cringe now even thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Where's that piece? Where's that piece now?
What's that?
Where's that piece now?
The original is owned by my friend Rhea Latre. She bought the first one that we hung up in a gallery. She's also a famous drag queen. Okay. And I've had several prints throughout the years, not very many, maybe like, I know that Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, he came to one of my art shows and he bought one. So yeah, it was like $100. I sell them really cheap, by the way. Like my portraits, especially in the beginning, were like $100. And this artwork, I've never made, like a lot of income doing it, but it's been really rewarding because it's taken me places and opened doors for me that never could have been opened.
That's amazing. So now you said you're gotten away from the celebrity artwork and you're doing, like you said, owls and stuff like that, trees.
Yeah, like I just do what I like to draw. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll always, probably still do celebrities if the opportunity presents itself. There was recently an opportunity I had almost to give one to somebody. It didn't, it didn't work out, but I will always do that. But at the same time, I just kind of, have found, peace with it, where I'm trying to also do artwork because I love it again and kind of ignite my passion for it. Because sometimes when things become a job, you lose your, your drive to do it. So I want to really draw things that I want to draw. And also I've been drawing, things that have inspired me, like in terms of people, like I've had, people that have passed away that I've done artwork of, and it's a really nice thing to give it to their family and keep their memory alive, and just kind of knowing that I, use my artwork to contribute to keeping someone's memory alive is like really rewarding, things like that. You know what I mean?
Sure. Now, when I was getting ready for the interview, in my head, I kept going back to this whole freaking pandemic and everything that we went through. And I was like, what was Sham doing during this? Like, were you at that point? I kept saying to myself, were you like diving into your art at that point? Like,
I was doing what everybody else was doing. I was scared. I was confused. I was trying to understand what was happening. And to be honest, it was a really, isolating time, but it was also a time for a lot of self-reflection. I think all of us have come out of it more grateful. I can say that I'm just grateful for like the littlest things, you know what I mean? Just, and I've experienced this before. I was in a horrible car accident one time,
I saw that.
Yeah. So, I've experienced that feeling of just like gratitude for like the small, just having like 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes I can see out of, and, being able to hear, being able to, just thanking God for my able body, you know what I mean? And like, we lost so many people during COVID, to also thanking God for my health and thanking God that I'm healthy. And, I definitely got vaccinated. I definitely, did what I thought was, right to protect, my fellow like human beings. And, I, wore my mask in public and did everything that I thought we were supposed to do. And, I think that when we look back on this period in our history, it'll be really clear, like kind of who cared about humanity and just who was kind of selfish. You know what I mean? So I hope that I did, I know in my heart I did the right thing,
There you go. That says it all right there.
Yeah.
So now I want to know, because it's something that you do. You do a lot of this, and I see it all over now more and more. What is actually drag queen bingo? Like, explain it to me, please. Because first off, I love bingo. I love what you girls do, the drag queen stuff. So combine it for me and tell me exactly what I'm missing out on.
Okay. Honestly, if you would have asked me this question 6 years ago, I would have said the same thing. I had no idea. But 6 years ago, I got a call from this amazing owner named Brad. He owns the bar that I work at. And by the way, if you ever want to see me, I'm here in Palm Desert at the Hood Bar and Pizza every Friday night at 8 o'clock and Sunday at 3 o'clock for Drag Queen Bingo. Now, what that is bingo, but with a drag queen. So you're basically getting bingo, but with a drag queen. And the unique thing about our bingo is that you can win my artwork. That's one of the grand prizes. And of course, you can win free drinks, and who doesn't like free alcohol? I mean,
absolutely.
And you get other little prizes. But, my artwork is really what the grand prize has always been. And, the only place you can kind of get it is here. I really don't have like a website or, or anything or any way for people to get my artwork unless you like get it from me in person. I've always been like that. I'm not with the 21st century, way behind the times. Don't ask me about this TikTok or Snapgram.
Come on, you're not on TikTok yet?
Fuck no. I don't even know what the fuck. I would just feel. I'm sorry. I see some of these people that are my age on there, and okay, I'm not even, and they're doing these dancing, and it's like I shouldn't talk shit, because you know what, good for them. God bless them for doing it. I think my lazy ass, I can't even get it together, but I just don't understand it. When I don't understand something, I just stay away from it. You know what I mean? I still don't really understand how the internet works. I don't even understand what I call NFT. Every time I share my art in NFT.
Oh my God! Please, what
is that? Explain it, and then maybe when I understand it, I can do it.
That's you as an artist. You need to get in on that, because I don't know. Me and my fiance, she's actually been trying to like research it now for 2 weeks, like a couple hours a day. She's like literally researching, and I'm just like, I have no freaking clue what the hell it is. It doesn't make sense to me. All I know is it's a piece of digital artwork, and somehow it gets sold, and then it becomes valuable, and it's being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I want to know now. I'm motivated. Now I want to know what it is. Now
it makes no sense.
Well, I bought my first cryptocurrency. I'm very proud of myself for that. I bought all these different cryptocurrencies on Coinbase. Not very much, just a little bit, just to try. You never know. And so far, not very good. I've already lost I'd say 30% of my investment, but hopefully it'll turn around. You never know. The markets are tough. Life is tough. Money's tough these days. You know what I mean? We are right now, don't ask me what is even. I'm not a political so much or economical person, but things seem a little bit crazy right now with all this Russia and all this stuff going on. Don't ask me what's happening, but I definitely am praying for Ukraine. I hope everybody is. That I can't imagine like one day like some country just like imagine if like the Native Americans are like, oh, that was ours. We're taking it back now. You know, because that's what essentially I thought my understanding is like Ukraine left like 30 years ago and we're independent, and now suddenly, you know, Russia wants it back. I mean, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a scary situation. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
But something that wasn't a scary situation that you recently did. You were on the Judge Steve Harvey show.
Yeah.
And which was pretty like I had seen you on Facebook sharing it out. I was like, all right, I gotta watch this, and I watched it, and I was like, oh shit, here comes Sham, and you did not look happy.
Listen, if you guys have not seen the episode, get on Hulu. It's episode 5, Judge Steve Harvey. It's called "Let's Not Drag Me Into This." I was a witness to a. You know what? And by the way, the drama has continued since after the thing, and you just have to first go watch.
Is it worse now?
You'll see what happens. So basically, there's 2 drag queens suing each other, and they call me in as a witness. And by the time I walked in that courtroom, I was so angry. I was ready to set that court on fire. Okay, I was so pissed, and frankly, the whole. If you watch and see, you know, about the case, it's really, you know, I'm trying to say without giving it away because I want people to watch, you know what I mean? But just nothing pisses me off in life more than a liar. When somebody's a liar, I might wear a lot of makeup, but I'm not a clown. I don't go on television and lie. And when people do that, you're going to piss me off. I was so angry sitting on that witness stand. And even Judge Steve knew that. He banged his hammer. They didn't show that part. It got cut out, but he banged his hammer. He had to calm me down because I was pissed. I still am. That rotted drag queen, don't even get me started. But you know what? I do believe in karma. Like Boy George said, the karma chameleon will come back and that drag queen will get what she has coming to her. But her and I are not friends anymore. Not at all. I do love, though, Pippi Lovestocking, who I would mention. It was her case. Pippi Lovestocking, if you guys don't know who that is, she's a famous drag queen from San Francisco, a very amazing comedian. She's hilarious, and it was really her case, you know, that was being settled. And it was settled, but I did not watch the episode, and I'll just say this. I didn't agree with the verdict.
Oh.
I did not.
Really?
But I believe certain drag queens should not have gotten a penny or a cent or a dime.
Interesting. Now, when you get the call for this, like, did you think it was gonna be like a real like a Judge Judy type thing, like a real judgment, or?
Well, it's open knowledge that the producers pay the settlement. People know that. But the cases are real. I mean, those 2 drag queens have been fighting for 30 years. They should have been in a courtroom a long time ago. So, you know, the cases are real, and the emotions that you see, I mean, if that anger on me was fake, then I deserve an Academy Award. Like, they need to.
Oh, you could tell. As soon as you came through the doors, I was like, "Ooh,
I was so
this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good."
You know what I mean? Like, you can't, and you know, the cases as they're settled, it does provide closure, I think, to people that are fighting, because when there is, you know, an issue of finances and you want to move forward in a friendship or whatever, you need to get past that. And it's kind of an amazing thing that they can do that and provide that, you know, to people. So, you know, the truth is about Steve Harvey. This is what I'll say about Steve Harvey as a judge. Okay. Like, he's a comedian. We know that, right? But if you want common sense to be the judge of your case, he is the best judge this side of heaven, straight up. He has so much common sense and so much experience in life, because if you know Steve's story, okay, he might be this icon that you see in front of you today, but at one point he was homeless and living in his car right before he made it. And and he wasn't even, honey, he was like 38, I think, when he made it. So it was not like this happened for him, at Justin Bieber's age. You know what I mean? Like he was already, and by the way, if you don't know Steve as a comedian, in my opinion, he's one of the best comics of all time. It's so funny. So you guys should revisit, if you've never seen him do stand-up, revisit it.
I'll say,
he said he can't do stand-up no more because he don't want to get canceled. I'm serious. He said that.
I bet. Yeah. I'll tell you something too that I didn't know about Steve Harvey, which I learned about, like you said, about him being homeless. I learned that over the last few years. But he does like these little motivational speaking things. I guess he does them. I'll tell you what, the things he says, it's just incredible. Brilliant. Yeah.
I shared it on my Facebook. It's incredible. It's so good to get your day started with that. Yeah. And Steve has a radio show too. His radio show is so funny because it's just kind of him talking, kind of like, unscripted. And he's got so much personality. It just comes out in every topic he talks about.
Now, when you do go on a show like that, what does that do for you afterwards? Do you get a lot of action going on social media? Do you start selling a lot more art?
Look, to be honest, I was called as a witness to stand up for my friend. And to me in life, to stand up for your friend is like one of the best things that you can do if you're an honorable person. So that in itself was worth it to me, to go on there and support my friend Pippi and, have her back, basically. Now, being on television for anybody that's a performer or a drag queen or an artist or anything, it's a blessing. It's it's a straight blessing. And this particular show was on prime time. That means 5 million or so people watched it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and this was one of the best rated shows. I mean, the show's doing amazing, and I think it's doing amazing because you see the real moments there. You know what I mean? Like you see, the real moments, and you see also these relationships between people. And a lot of them are really old relationships. Like those two drag queens had known each other for 30 years. I know two of them for about 15 years or 20 years. So, we're coming in with all this baggage and everything, and then it's getting sorted out right in front of everybody's eyes.
Right. So, is there any other shows you'll be coming up on that you might be able to?
Also, if you guys want to see me on something else, I'm also on the Courtney Stodden show. It's called Courtney, and it's on FNL Network. FNL. It's on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Okay.
You can find it there, and you can get FNL Network downloaded on your Roku or your what's that called? Well, don't ask me. See this technology shit? I don't know. Your smart TV. Your smart TV. Download that FNL Network.
It's all smart TVs now. I don't. Does cable still exist? I don't even know.
I personally haven't had cable in so long, I wouldn't know. I just never, but I love all these streaming things we have now. That's great. You know what I mean? So Netflix, if you're watching, you want to give me a deal, call me. I'll make sure to do something good. I would love to, you know what I would love to do? It's always been my dream to do my own show with my artwork where I, sort of, find interesting people, celebrities and otherwise, and interview them and give them artwork. You know what I mean? That would be my dream come true. And my dream has always been to publish a book. Because I don't know about all these NFTs, but I want something I can hold and see in my hand. So I would like to put all my artwork in a book and publish it, which I've looked into like some self-publishing options and stuff. And I just think that's just like it's amazing that we even have that these days.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
You can do everything now, whether it's books or your own music.
Isn't that incredible?
It is.
We don't need to go to Hollywood. We could just have our own Hollywood wherever we are.
Hollywood is now in your home.
It really is.
Well, Sham, I want to thank you for doing this. I know you're, like you said, you're backstage. Thank you for showing up.
Of course, I always show up. Please.
I know you do.
Show up, and it's an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to speak with you. And thank you to everybody who listened. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, where should we send everybody to find you? What's the best place?
You can find me on Instagram I've got like several of them now. Please follow my new one, which is for my appearance on Steve Harvey at I am Lady Sham. And also on Instagram, follow Judge Steve Harvey because he has posted on his account on the Judge Steve Harvey account on Instagram. He's posted several backstage videos of me giving.
Oh, cool.
I had artwork I had brought for Steve. So they
Nice.
put that on there. Please go on there and look at that. And also follow me on my own personal Instagram, which is Sham Ibrahim, my first and last name, and the number 1. And then I have a very interesting Instagram I made where I am documenting. I took a break from it, but just go on there and look at what's on there already. It's called Vintage Sham Ibrahim. Okay?
Oh.
Vintage Sham Ibrahim. You will see some shit that you have no idea about. I've been in so many music videos, TV shows, and commercials since I was practically in diapers. So look, see, I'm documenting it all. All my Hollywood history and beyond that is going to be.
I'm going there now. I got to investigate this.
Oh, I got things. I haven't even posted yet my issue with Vogue or anything. I haven't even posted any of the good stuff yet. My episode of ER is on there where I'm a dying patient on there. I have not even posted. I was on X-Files one time as the first nudity on television as a dead body. Yes. I've done something. I was drag queen on Will and Grace, honey. I've done so many things. Okay. So, but it's, I've never really taken the time to document and find everything and really sort out all my memories. So that Instagram account was my kind of like project to do it. But I'm like not very egomaniacal. So I get kind of sick and tired of looking at myself. I just took a break from, wanting to post look at all these old pictures and post. I just took a break. I need a break. You know what I mean? Looking at myself too much. So I've walked away from it for actually 3 months. It's too long of a break. I need to go back.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the world of social media, you can't take a break. You got to keep posting.
You do. But you know what? I am in my own world. I'm not in the world of social media. You know what I mean? And
that's a good thing.
I encourage everybody to be in their own world.
That's a good thing. Everybody needs to be in their own world.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Sham, thank you so much. Let's not wait another 5-6 years. Keep in touch.
Thank you, Bay. I love you, Bay. Thank you for having me.
Love you, Sham. Go play some more bingo.
Oh, on Friday, I will. Friday at 8 o'clock, you can see me at the Hood Bar and Pizza in Palm Desert, or Sunday at 3 p.m.
There you go. All right, Sham.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you.